All right, diving right in today, we're talking about something that's with us every single workday, the workstation. We've got a whole bunch of ergonomic checkpoints to go through, kind of like a cheat sheet for making those workspaces as comfy and safe as they can be, and helping us all be more productive too.
Exactly. Think of it like your personal guide to getting everything right, from how high your desk should be, sitting or standing, to, I don't know, all those little things about your computer setup that people don't always think about. We even have some stuff about vehicle cabins in there.
And our mission here, simple. We want to give you the knowledge to actually do something with this information. By the end of this deep dive, we want you to be able to look at your own workspace, or heck, even someone else's, and instantly see what could be improved. No more aches and pains and way more getting stuff done. So where do we even start with all this ergonomic wisdom?
Well, a really good place to start is with working height, all about the needs of smaller workers. The main thing is making sure they can easily reach everything, like controls and materials.
Right, so I guess that would mean things like having adjustable equipment.
Exactly. But it can also be as simple as, thoughtfully repositioning things or using stable platforms to help bridge the gap.
Gotcha. And then what about taller people? I imagine they have their own set of challenges.
Oh, for sure. Really stresses the importance of having enough leg and knee clearance for taller folks. It might seem obvious, but it's something that often gets overlooked. Feeling cramped under your desk isn't just uncomfortable, it can actually be a safety hazard too.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I guess the solution there would be to raise the desk height or maybe even go for a larger workstation altogether.
Exactly. It's all about thinking about the whole range of people who might be using the workspace and not just, sticking to what the regulations say is a bare minimum.
Okay, so we've covered height and making sure the workspace fits everyone. Now let's talk about what's actually on the workstation. All about keeping the things you use a lot close at hand, right?
Right. They call it the primary hand movement area, and it's basically the zone that's within easy reach of your forearms, both in front of you and to the sides, all at about elbow height. The idea is that if you're not constantly reaching for things, you save energy and time, and most importantly, you reduce the risk of straining yourself and getting aches and pains.
Makes perfect sense. So that would mean what? Organizing your workspace in a logical way? Like having certain zones for specific tasks?
Absolutely. And, another thing the guidelines recommend is getting the people who actually do the work involved in deciding where things should go. After all, they're the ones who know best what they need to use most often.
That's such a good point, which is about having a good, sturdy work surface that can be used for a variety of tasks.
Yeah, and it's not just about the main task you're doing. You need space for prepping things, taking notes, maybe even hopping on a quick call. And the work surface needs to be stable too. You don't want things wobbling around and causing frustration, or worse, messing up your work.
Oh, and one detail I found interesting was the recommendation that the work surface shouldn't be thicker than 5 centimeters, for knee clearance.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's like you need a good foundation, both literally and figuratively. It's super important, but people don't always think about it. Posture. Keeping your work close to your body and right in front of you is key, right?
Exactly. When you work with a balanced posture, you're not twisting and bending all over the place, which makes your movements more efficient and reduces the risk of getting tired and developing musculoskeletal problems.
Musculoskeletal problems. That sounds serious.
It can be. We're talking about things like carpal tunnel syndrome or back pain.
Oh, wow. I see.
The guidelines actually give specific height zones that are considered optimal for standing, which is somewhere between your waist and heart level, and sitting, which is around elbow to heart level.
Yeah.
But the other key point they make is that it's good to change positions throughout the day. Don't stay in one posture for too long.
Switching between standing and sitting. It sounds so simple, but it can really make a difference in terms of reducing stress and fatigue and even improving your mood.
Oh, absolutely. And it doesn't have to be anything complicated. Something as simple as standing up while you're on the phone can help. Or maybe doing some tasks standing and others sitting.
Right, like maybe you can stand while you're brainstorming or on a call and then sit down when you need to focus on writing or something.
Exactly. And for folks whose jobs mostly involve standing, reminds us that it's important to provide chairs or stools so they can sit down for a bit every now and then.
Yeah, that makes sense. Even if your job mostly involves standing, you need a break from time to time.
Exactly. It helps prevent all those aches and pains that come from standing for too long, and it can actually improve the quality of their work, too. It's all about recognizing that even if you're mostly standing, taking a few minutes to sit down can be beneficial.
So, for those of us who do spend a good chunk of the day sitting down, the chair. And it's not just about being comfy in the moment, is it?
Nope, not at all. A good chair can actually have a real impact on how tired you get, how efficiently you work, and even how happy you are with your job. The key features to look for are adjustable height, so your feet are flat on the floor and you're not getting any pressure on your thighs, good lumbar support for your lower back, a comfortable seat, and good mobility so you can move around easily.
You know, I've never really thought much about my chair before, but now that you mention it, all those things make a lot of sense.
Oh yeah, and a common mistake people make is using a high chair with a high table.
Oh, right, like a bar stool at a counter.
Yeah, exactly. And you'd think that would be more comfortable, but it actually restricts your leg movement and can make you more tired.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, which are all about computer workstations. And it sounds like adjustability is the name of the game here.
It really is. You want to be able to adjust your table, your chair, and the height of your monitor. And the way you position your keyboard and mouse is important too. Your keyboard should be below elbow level, and your mouse should be close to your body.
I've definitely been guilty of not having my keyboard at the right height.
It happens. And for those of us who use laptops, a simple thing you can do is get an external keyboard and raise the screen to eye level. That can really help prevent neck and shoulder strain. Care of our eyes.
Oh, yeah, that's important. I wear glasses, so I'm pretty good about getting my eyes checked regularly.
That's great. And for people who spend hours looking at screens, it might even be worth considering getting glasses specifically for that purpose. The visual demands of staring at a screen all day are quite different from reading a book or a piece of paper.
That's true. I hadn't really thought about that. So we've covered a lot of ground here, from desk height to chairs to computer setups. What else do these guidelines cover?
Well, we also have some guidelines for working safely in high places.
Oh, right, like if you're working on a platform or something.
Exactly. So those guidelines emphasize the importance of things like having safe access to the work area, making sure you have a stable footing, and using proper fall protection like guardrails and safety harnesses. And of course, you always want to make sure those platforms and scaffolds are regularly inspected.
Absolutely. Safety first, right?
Always. And last but not least, vehicle cabin ergonomics, which is all about making sure those spaces are safe and comfortable for the people who use them.
So we're talking about things like truck drivers and delivery drivers.
Yeah, anyone who spends a lot of time in a vehicle for work. So the guidelines focus on having a stable cabin structure, making sure controls are easy to reach, providing adjustable seating, having good climate control, and ensuring good visibility.
It really is amazing how much thought goes into designing these workspaces.
It is. And when you boil it all down, it's really about designing workspaces with people in mind. That's the key to improving health and safety and ultimately boosting productivity.
All right, so let's do a quick recap for everyone listening. Remember that elbow rule when you're setting up your workspace. Think about the needs of people of all sizes. Keep those frequently used items within easy reach. Embrace switching between sitting and standing. And don't forget about the importance of a good chair and a well-organized computer setup.
And the big takeaway here is that even those seemingly small adjustments to your workspace can have a huge impact on your health and how well you're able to do your job in the long run.
Absolutely. So here's something for you to think about. Take a look around your workspace, or maybe the workspace of someone you know. Based on all these ergonomic checkpoints we've talked about, what's one thing that might be getting overlooked? Addressing that one thing could make a world of difference in terms of comfort and productivity. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.